If you enjoy this video, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. With that being said, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Matthew, and today we're taking a look at not one, not two, but three giant apes. The eighth wonder of the world himself, King Kong. Or just Kong as he's called because of the public domain, Universal pictures and all that stuff, whatever. It's a complicated history. Long story short, this is a public domain version of Kong that utilizes it. I'm not saying MonsterVerse is public domain, but this is a thing that, whatever. Three Playmates figures that take the same crack at the same ape, just different movies. Kong Skull Island, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Godzilla Kong the New Empire. We're going to be comparing these giant apes in 7 different categories: sculpt and paint, articulation, size, accessories, price, availability, and packaging. And we're just going to be going through the works. So with that being said, let's dive right in. So, okay, we're going to be trying this a little differently because of how big all these figures are. I actually spread out the camera backwards, so you're going to have to see a bit of my boxes here. Don't worry, this is just the Diamond Select Gallery Diorama with 93 statue box, but... oh no, this is 91, forgive me. Anywho, these Kongs, first up, we're going to go with Sculpt and Paint. Which, first up, we're going to take a look at this Kong, which is the, technically speaking, the oldest one. Both literally and figuratively, because this is the 2017 version. This one I have is the original release. So not the reissue with like the different color scheme, including the updated guns. No, the original. So for the original, we actually have some painted eyes, which are actually probably the best painted of the bunch, honestly, because it's got like a nice glossy orange finish with some black pupils, which make it a little bit more, I guess, realistic, quote unquote, with a nice gray spray, dark kind of gray spray for the overall skin. And we have some more skin tones for like the brown here, and some more like black grayish ears that are actually really well detailed. And speaking of the detail, the fur is actually, again, really well done. I like the kind of pattern we got going on here, and actually kind of feels the best like it should be as far as fur goes. The mouth is painted alright. We have one big strip of pink paint that goes from the roof of the mouth where it meets the teeth down to the tongue where it meets the teeth. And the teeth paint is just pure one color, the bone white, and you can kind of even see like the gum line is also painted white, even though the reissue does have updated gums with paint. Mine's got a little nick, you can kind of see it on the tip of my finger. Don't know if that was because of transportation, because my family went on a trip, got these suckers, and then came back with them. But we also have some nice teeth sculpt here as well. Although my bottom teeth, I think it's like this on all the units, but I don't like how these teeth are sculpted because they look flattened and less like this, where it should be a bit more upwards, but they all just look kind of, well, front. And that's it for the face, really. So nice, angry, pissed off looking expression. For the chest, we have some nice spray here for the pecs. Looks really nice sculpting work for the overall shape, because we kind of have like a black outline for the chest. So it's like a nice little black spray. Stops kind of like where, the belly button's right down here. So it stops like where, I guess like midway through the 6-pack, which would be like right around here. And then we have the painted on scars, which I kind of would have preferred if they were sculpted on rather than just painted. But probably of the bunch, they're probably the best painted of the whole Kong line we're taking a look at so far. But we do have a nice gray to black spray with white paint to really make it a bit more defined. And then from here on out, the rest of the body, minus the fists and the feet, are going to be entirely made of brown. And it is worth noting that, yes, screw holes, not really like against these screw holes, because whatever, because like I kind of grew up with toys that had screw holes, so I don't really care about these. But it is worth noting out, because I do know that they have their negativity towards us, some people. We have some like rugged fur. That looks pretty nice, really accurate to the film. We have some nice sculpted fur on the legs, especially. For the arms, we have some nice sculpting work here. Definitely really well done as far as like the fur pattern going down here, then to the fist, which this one's purely clenched, and this one is slightly open, and but no, there's nothing you can really use to like hold it. There's no like axe or like bone and chain propeller that this thing came with or comes with. So no, this thing is kind of useless. One thing I don't really like about the feet and the hands, more towards the hands, is that it just looks like they dipped part of the hand in and called it a day. Like they dipped it in black paint and boom. Even though I would expect a bit more of like a color like this, because that just kind of looks like he's almost wearing gloves. And we both know Kong don't wear gloves. Unless it's that one. But aside from it, I do like the brown color they chose, and overall, at least for the mold, I don't believe this took the Leonard Kong mold. If you don't know what the Leonard Kong, it's like it's like that giant 18-inch tall Kong that was released a few years back. It went really well with the Jack Specific Godzilla 2014 slash 2019, but it's 2014. So I would say for overall sculpt and paint, I like him. Focusing my camera back in. I like him. He's probably the most movie accurate to the source material of all these guys. And it's probably the most I wouldn't really say the most well executed because it could just use a little bit more paint. But aside from that, I think that this guy is probably, at least as far as sculpt and paint, my personal second favorite. You're going to see why. Next up, we've got my personal least favorite, the Giant Kong from GVK. Oh boy, here we go. And I'm just saying, oh boy, here we go, because of like the overall size of these freaking things keep bumping into each other. So why is this guy my least favorite? Well, for the face, I do like the design of the eyes. It's probably, again, not necessarily the most movie accurate, but probably the most well done. Because it's actually got like an iris and some slightly, well, actually it does have yellow pupils. I don't know why I said slightly. And it also has some pretty decently sculpted in teeth, and you can actually kind of see a bit of like 3D with the teeth. And it even has like a bit of snaggle tooth, like a hanging out fang, which is an important feature of what would later be Scar King. Ooh. And also it features some nicely done, nicely painted scarring. It's not the best. I would have preferred sculpted again. And it even features some subtle gradations of black, as the pecs, arms, and toes are also a bit darker than the base skin color. That being said, that is it as far as paint goes. Yeah, this thing is entirely black. Just jet black. The Kong in the movie had a lot more like a brown color and a variety of those different browns, and I feel like that would have been a lot better as far as the fur detail is concerned. But here, the entire figure is just jet black. There's barely any variety, and the only reason I can tell there's multiple blacks is because of the light that I currently have on here. And I mean, I didn't just find this out. I've had this thing for at least several years now. But that is literally it. The scrolls, take them or leave them, I don't care. But at the very least, the sculpt is nice. We do have some nice pecs. We do have some nice fur detail, although they are not as defined as the Kong Skull Island figure. They're a bit more shallow with the detail, but again, it still looks fine. Clenched fist, but this time on the opposite end of the arm. The sculpt work on the legs is alright. The sculpt work on the feet is alright. And again, reversed of the fists, loosened up, and clenched fist. That's all good. However, it's just boring. Like, really, this is possibly, honestly, like my least favorite of the Giants. And I currently own all six. Well, not all six. There's still quite a bit I'm missing. I'm missing 54, Mechagodzilla, Scar King, Shimo, and Mothra. But from the ones I currently have, this is honestly my least favorite. It doesn't really have like anything interesting going for it as far as like the sheer sculpt and paint is concerned. And even though that's like my general opinion about this figure, just seeing it next to them, it's honestly just got a lot of missed potential, especially because also I forgot to mention the beard is actually well, at least when I got it was actually kind of spiky. Yeah, there you go. It's kind of pointy. But still, honestly, jet black is just not the color for the 2021 Kong. And shouldn't even be really the color for Kong. I think that it's almost like they got confused for the silverback gorilla of 2005. You know that design? Yeah, it's almost like they confused that for this. MonsterVerse was always more colorful than that one. So that's the 20 lightly shove you out of the way. That's the sculpt and paint for that Kong.